Good morning. This is Pastor Jeff, and we are here for our daily lectionary reading. Our first reading is a psalm reading from Psalms 118. Our Old Testament reading is from Genesis chapter 1, and our New Testament reading is from 1 Corinthians chapter 15. Let us listen in and hear the scriptures for the day. Psalms 118. Thank God, because He's good, because His love never quits. Tell the world, Israel, His love never quits. And you, clan of Aaron, tell the world, His love never quits. And you who fear God, join in. His love never quits. Pushed to the wall, I called to God. From the wide open spaces, He answered. God's now at my side, and I'm not afraid. Who would dare lay a hand on me? God's my strong champion. I flick off my enemies like flies. Far better to take refuge in God than trust in people. Far better to take refuge in God than trust in celebrities. Hymned by barbarians, in God's name, I rubbed their faces in the dirt. Hemmed in with no way out. In God's name, I rubbed their faces in dirt. I was right on the cliff edge, ready to fall, when God grabbed and held me. God's my strength. He's my song. And now, He's my salvation. Hear the shouts. Hear the triumph songs in the camp of the saved. The hand of God has turned the tide. The hand of God is raised in victory. The hand of God has turned the tide. I didn't die. I lived. And now I'm telling the world what God did. God tested me. He pushed me hard, but He didn't hand me over to death. Swing wide the city gates, the righteous gates. I'll walk right through and thank God. This temple gate belongs to God, so the victors can enter in and praise. Thank you for responding to me. You're truly become my salvation. The stone that masons discarded as flawed is now the capstone. This is God's work. We rub our eyes. We can hardly believe it. This is the very day God acted. Let's celebrate and be festive. Salvation now, God. Salvation now. Oh yes, God. A free and a full life. Our Old Testament reading is from Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 through 19. Heaven and earth. First, this. God created the heavens and the earth, all you see and all that you don't see, with a soup of nothingness, a bottomless emptiness, an inky blackness. God's Spirit brooded like a bird above the watery abyss. God spoke light, and light appeared. God saw that the light was good, and separated the light from the darkness. God named the light day. He named the dark night. It was evening. It was morning. Day one. God spoke. Sky in the middle of the waters. Separate water from water. God made sky. He separated the water under the sky from the water above the sky. And there it was. He named the sky the heavens. It was evening. It was morning. Day two. God spoke. Separate water beneath heaven. Gather into one place. Land appeared, and there it was. God named the land earth. He named the pooled water ocean. God saw that it was good. God spoke, earth, Green up! Grow all varieties of seed-bearing plants, every sort of fruit-bearing tree. And there it was. Earth produced green, seed-bearing plants, all varieties, and fruit-bearing trees of all sorts. God saw that it was good. It was evening. It was morning. Day 3. God spoke. Lights, come out! Shine in heaven's sky. Separate day from night. Mark seasons and days and years. Lights in heaven. Heavens to give light to the earth. And there it was. God made 2 bright lights. The larger to take charge of the day. The smaller to be in charge of the night. And he made the stars. God placed them in the heavenly sky to light up earth and oversee the days and the night, to separate light and darkness. God saw that it was good. It was evening. It was morning. Day 4. Our New Testament reading today comes from the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verses 35 through 49. Some skeptic is sure to ask, show me how the resurrection works. Give me a diagram. Draw me a picture. What does this resurrection body look like? If you look at this question closely, you realize how absurd it is. There is no diagram for this kind of thing. We do not have a parallel experience in gardening. You plant a dead seed, soon there is a flourishing plant. There is no visual likeness between seed and plant. You could never guess what a tomato would look like by looking at a tomato seed. What we plant in the soil and what grows out of it doesn't look anything alike. The dead body, in that we bury in the ground, and the resurrection body that comes from it will be dramatically different. You will notice the variety of bodies is stunning. Just as there are different kinds of seed, there are different kinds of bodies. Humans, animals, birds, fish, each unprecedented in its form. You get a hint at the diversity of resurrection glory by looking at the diversity of the bodies, not only on the earth, but in the sky, the sun, the moon, the stars, all these varieties of beauty and brightness. And we're only looking at the pre-resurrection seeds. Who can imagine what the resurrection plants will be like? The image of planting a dead seed and raising a live plant is a mere sketch at best, but perhaps it will help in approaching the mystery of the resurrected body. But only if you keep in mind that when we're raised for good, alive forever. The corpse that's planted is no beauty, but when it's raised, it's glorious. Put in the ground weak, it comes up powerful. The seed sown is natural. The seed grown is supernatural. Same seed, same body, but what a difference from where it goes down in the physical mortality to when it is raised up in spiritual immorality. We follow the sequence in Scripture. The first Adam received life. The last Adam is life-giving. Spirit, physical life comes first, then spiritual. A firm base shaped from the earth. A final completion coming out of heaven. The first man was made out of earth, and people since then are earthly. The second man was made out of heaven. and people now can be heavenly. In the same way that we've worked from our earthly origins, let's embrace our heavenly ends. And here ends our 3 readings for the day. Have a great day.